culture shock I had was when I came to Japan. That was 20 years ago. I had a big culture shock because people were surprised to see such a big guy. I didn't speak the language. I didn't eat this food, raw fish or something. I didn't know anything about it. Couldn't understand. I was trying to study, but it was, of course, it was taking time to... And then I learned a lot of patience in Japan. To be patient, to accept that I cannot rush for some developments, you know. And of course this helps me then in the next step. This helped me in the pro business in Kyoto, particularly in Africa. In Africa you are in a bus and there's 30 people. Players, driver, staff, and one white man. Michael Weiss. Because my name is White, actually, in German. If you translate in English, Michael White. And one white guy and only black. Can you imagine? If you never experience that, you think, I saw something, what is this, you know? And, but with the time, with the years, as I said, you have the experience, you can deal with anything. You will always find ways how to communicate. Whether it is non-verbal, whether it is with gestures, whether it is with a translator, whether it is with just demonstration, you manage. This is my life, so I have no problem with that. I learned the language, of course, through the wife over the years, and by my own studies, through my kids now. Kids teach me proper language. I don't speak proper. I can speak with the people. They will understand what I say, but not nice, fluent, you know. I speak a little bit French, speak a little bit, of course, English, German, a little bit Spanish, Chinese. I would, if I need it. I think I could pick it up. I know some words already. It's always process. Of course I try to bring stuff, but it's a financial thing. If I can bring, like Gary White in Taiwan, he brought 3 coaches, yeah. It's different, you can work very much different. And this is also always the target. But sometimes they say, okay coach, we have this and this budget, and from this budget either you take it alone or you bring coaches. But the budget is already maybe not so big, so I cannot invite people to come with me. I must do it alone and deal with the local people. What you have to find is, you have to find local people who are willing to learn from you and who are able to transform your ideas in the local language. My assistant coach was the former national team coach, and he's my prolonged arm, because he knows the language. He knows what I want, and we are working now together with the under-23s, under-19 and national team. I am responsible for the all national team. So for me it's not so much too important to stand on the line and you know, to show something to the public. For me it's more important the players know what I want through this coach, because this coach speaks the local language. So this is how I manage. The technical director is the one who creates the master plan. The technical director must see what is going on in the schools, what is going on in the clubs, which competitions do you have, where can I find talents, how do I organize the youth national teams, the best elite teams, how do I organize tournaments, where can they play, how can I get a connection to bigger countries to send them out in a young age to get experience. He must look into the coaching department, or let's say 28 to 35. These people he must accompany 3-4 years and build them. Send them out to Germany, to England, to wherever the connection is there. Study. Make everything professional as much as you can. Build up the players, follow up. This is the technical director's job. The technical director's job is more like a longer vision. The head coach must work hand in hand with the technical director in a good connection. Maybe even the technical director can be coach and technical director at the same time. If trusted from the federation, it's also a good combination, I would say. Or you have a local technical director under the guidance of the foreign head coach, and the foreign head coach is like the actual technical director, but guiding, because AFC and FIFA don't want that. They don't want coach and technical director at the same time. So there you have to find a good combination with a person who is trustful, who knows the local scene, and who can push and really can develop things. You know, cannot say Kuroda is like Imai, or I cannot say this one is like this, because I don't know the people. I know Kuroda from the past, and Kuroda was one of the big youth development persons in Takigawa Daini in Kobe. Really top man. I know the Japanese style with the newer coaches like Moriyasu, who's the head coach now, is fantastic style. Study a lot from all football background, whether it is Brazil, America, Colombia, wherever, yeah, and Europe, of course. Moriyasu is a good example of a top coach in Japan. The younger generation is getting, I think, better and leaving the traditionals, but Japan itself is very traditional. In Japan, you have to follow connections, rules, and you cannot be like a revolutionary man. The society doesn't allow that in a way. Gary White, who came here, you know, is a good connector, finding the players who have mixed heritage. He did it in Guam, he did it here. About his coaching I cannot say, but he had success. With a good strategy to have many home games. In the record, he say 7 home games undefeated, you know. It's a part of the development for Taipei, which was good at that period. That the players were obviously more excited, the players were more successful. The composition of the group was very good because you had all the foreigners. You had the Belgium guy, you had Yakichen, you have all the strong players together. The base of all is the strength of the players. If you have quality players, you can do something. So I give you an example. When I started with the Philippines, I was assigned to be the head coach of the national team and under 23. In the first weeks already, I was contacting the German FA to send me an expert for the grassroots development, for the coaches' education particularly, paid from German funds from the foreign ministry. And I know how to connect these funds. So it took me 1 year, but then the guy came and he stayed 2 to 4 years. He can stay in this country. So this would also massively help Taiwan, yeah, if you have an expert like this. We can always bring people to these places and connect them with clubs, with youth academies to study. That is very important. You need a pool of 20 local people. 20 local people, mostly it's former players or soccer fanatics who study like me on the university, like sports. Bring them, build them a little bit, and then in their 30s, 35s, send them to many courses, get experience, study on the side of an experienced coach, and then give the knowledge to the local community. This is the way how you do it. Of course, I take what I have there. I develop as much as I can in the time when I'm there. But of course, it has also limitations. If you ask me for my personal opinion, let's say, for example, Chinese Taipei. Now you have maybe 50 or 60, 70 interesting players. Top under 23. Around this, you build now strong for the next 2, 3, 4 years. You build your team to compete on higher level. At the same time, you look for the under 20 younger, let's say under 21 younger, to under 18, 17. You put strong coaching stuff there and build at the same time, when the top team is competing on Asia level, you build this group. But consistency is the main thing. I stay 3, 4 years, and I can say I stay 4 years in Africa, I stay 2 years only in China, which was not enough. I stay 3 years in Philippines, now I stay almost 2, 3 years in Mongol. You can see something. But if one coach come, go, come, go, come, it's not good, in my opinion. We as the expats, we come with a foreign head to places where football is not developed. We know what is standard in our country. In my country, I start with 8 years, I train 3 times a week, and if I'm good, I go more, I stay 4 or 5 times. Maybe I can become top player, maybe I can become like me, not top player, but third league player, which is good. I get $2,000 1 month, I can make a living, and at the same time I study something on the side, so I'm like semi-pro, close to pro. It needs to be developed from young age. They need to learn the basic skills, and they need to enjoy football. They need to love football. And then it goes on and on and on. You have a youth competition, under 12, under 15. Taiwan is big, but not too big. Or maybe you can arrange a southern and northern competition, and then you have the winners. You must play in, week out. You need 40, 50 games every year. On the national team level, you have to recruit the best players and the ones who have the best possibility to become national team player or professional player in general, who want that. The ones who want is important to find. The ones who have dedication, who die for football. I will not choose the one with the talent so much. I will choose the one who want. Because the one who want will help you in the future. You need to be ready to train every day, whether it is 35 degrees in the summer or whether it is 15 degrees, or in Mongolia we train sometimes minus 15 outside. Nobody complain, because normal. These are the ones you need. They will make it to the top. The ones who are fancy and this and then start with the phones and girlfriends and cars, and they will not make it.